You're listening to the Traffic and Funnels Show.
I just saw this headline. It said Madison Avenue meltdown marketers media outlets feud over billions of dollars in advertising. And I saw another headline that Taylor sent me about Buffett selling, I think, most of his bank shares, and he's buying a lot of gold. And typically when there's an issue with the economy, maybe a devaluation of the dollar, investors will typically buy gold. And so the discussion here is it's time to buy gold. And what I want to make the connection with is I'm not talking literally, I'm not an advisor of finances. I am not licensed. Seek your licensed professional. But figuratively, I want to talk to you about it is time to buy gold in regards to your business. It is time to understand the season that we are in, that opportunity is ripe for the taking. As an investor, you must understand and write this down. I am an investor. And if you are an investor, you are looking at always what are great investments for you to acquire, for you to purchase. And so for me as an investor specifically, and I'm not talking about real estate at this point, I'm talking about within the business, I'm looking at what assets I can purchase to install that will help grow my business, thus my wealth, my riches, my assets. And I think so many of you are doing it the hard way. You're doing it yourself. And you haven't looked at what are the assets that I need to purchase? What is the gold out there that might be undervalued currently that I can purchase in my business to help grow my business? Now is the time. And so looking at this article about advertisers freaking out, Madison Avenue freaking out, many companies are freaking out about purchasing advertising because they're scared. They're scared. But you, as a direct response marketer, you should know that now is the time to purchase that asset that can bring more revenue, more profit to your business. It is not the time to relinquish in your business. It's the time to understand that this is the time of opportunity. And that comes with purchasing advertising, purchasing attention for your market, purchasing people's skills, people's time to install into your business so that you can create more cap space for your business, so that you can increase the velocity at which you make revenue and thus profit in your business. So you can increase the velocity and the speed in which you take that revenue and put it into actual real investments, possibly gold. Again, I am not a licensed financial professional. Seek those who are for their advice. But now is the time. And I think many of you are maybe a little bit timid. You're a little bit scared. And so we've talked about this before, where you build some margin, you build a little bit of hedge, and you freaking go aggressive. Now people say, Chris, well, how do you do that? How do you mitigate risks? Well, you put constraints. You put constraints in place in your business. You put boundaries and guardrails in place for your business. And so you take a non-emotional approach in regards to acquiring assets for your business, whether it be attention online, i.e. purchasing ads, or maybe acquiring a marketer, or acquiring a salesperson, or acquiring a CS person, or acquiring an operations person, whatever it might be. You look at it from a strategic standpoint and know that that is part of the process if you want to grow a proper business with proper foundation. That's a requirement. And looking at the landscape of the economy, what's going on right now, there's a lot of people that are out of work, right? There's not as many jobs available. So now is the time to buy those undervalued assets, being advertising. Advertising costs are down. People being out of work. Stop sleeping on the opportunity that you face right now because you're scared. Now is not the time to be scared. Now is the time to take it with an approach of logic and sound thinking. Thinking about it strategically and knowing what your constraints are and what your risks are ahead of time and how to properly mitigate that when you are actually acquiring those assets, being, again, maybe advertising, people, processes. And so we're starting to do this on a much larger scale now. We're acquiring businesses. And it's fascinating. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun. And because I feel like now is the time. Now is really the time for us to accelerate our velocity. And that's on a bigger level. So I'm interested in if you're at a place where you are not being aggressive in this process, in this thinking, why is that? What are you scared of right now? What is holding you back? Maybe you just don't have clarity. Maybe you don't know what the pillars and the milestones are to get you to that place. But I was having a conversation with an owner, and I said, this is a person who has got some success. They've got some great revenue coming in, but they don't have a team built out yet. And to have an organization that has the capacity and the ability to grow and scale quickly, you've got to have teams. So I said, if I was starting a brand new company right now, the first thing, maybe the second thing I would do, aside from knowing what my outcomes and the vision and stuff like that were, the thing that I would do would be at the top of my list is to go and acquire the right team. Identifying what is my outcome and who do I need to install, who do I need to acquire, what talent do I need to go get, what skill set, experience do I need to go get that I can place into the business to get to that outcome as quick as possible.
Yo, what's up, crew? Taylor Welch here, and if you're a fan of this show and you want to get a little bit deeper in your commitment to your business and your growth and your revenue, head over to trafficandfunnels.com/subscribe. As a subscriber, you're going to get a free gift from us just to help you grow your business, and it's our way of saying thank you for joining the family. Our exclusive offers and deals usually show up to this subscriber community as well, so you'll get first dibs access on anything new, anything exciting, and most of the time that means profitability for you. Visit trafficandfunnels.com/subscribe. I'll see you on the inside, my friends.
I think so many of you are missing on opportunity. You're missing on income. You're missing on revenue because you are capped. Maybe you're lacking vision. Maybe you're scared. Maybe it's your thinking. You want to play small, right? So you have to expand your thinking, expand your capacity by looking at what's working, not only now, but what's working in the past. And that's why myself and T, we're such avid readers. We want to know those who have gone before us, what worked, what didn't. Some of the best, I'd say probably the best investors in history have been those who are logical, they're non-emotional. Look at the best in history. They take investment, acquiring assets, from a standpoint of logic and not emotions. So when you're looking at your business as an investor, look at the next 30, 60, 90 days. What do I need to invest in? First off, what's the outcome? Where do I want to be? And then what do I need to invest in to get me to that outcome as quick as possible? And what are the risks in that process, and how do I mitigate those risks? Right? Someone who is not as emotional, they might have terrible awareness, and they might be more prone to just take on way too much risk without any hedge and just run off the side of the mountain. That's equally not as good as being super emotional and not taking any risk. Right? So you need to know where you lean. And based on that, you can set proper constraints and boundaries and borders for yourself. But it would be beneficial for all of you to study investing, to study growth, study scale. One of the things I've done is I've studied growth in Silicon Valley. I've read about a lot of companies in Silicon Valley because you have these huge companies that have grown very, very quick. And why is that? Well, they have grand vision, grand outcome, and they know that the way for them to do it the way for them to have the capacity for that grand vision, for that grand outcome, is to have the right people and processes in place, i.e., assets in the organization that give them the room to actually accomplish that vision, accomplish those dreams, accomplish that outcome. So I'm going to challenge you. What is your grand vision for the rest of this year? I challenged the leadership team. Me and T challenged the leadership team of TF yesterday for end of 2020 vision. And I just pushed them on it. We pushed them on it. Because not only is it good enough to have a great vision, great outcome, you need to know the numbers and the process, clarity on exactly what it's going to take to get there. And then you can decide, okay, what are the best assets, investments that I can purchase to help get me there? Is it appropriate right now for me to acquire a marketer? For me to acquire attention online? Is it appropriate right now for me to acquire the asset of a client success director? Right? Is it appropriate for me to acquire XYZ? When you have the outcome locked in and you know the process of what it takes to get there, then you go and you find the assets to get you there, the investments that are going to get you there. And then you find when you do this, you have your guardrails in place, you have your constraints in place. You start to see your revenue, your profit, your wealth grow exponentially. And it's something that's very beautiful to see. And we're seeing, it's just the speed of what's happening with our businesses is just insane now. Because of this line of thinking, right? Everything is an investment.
Thanks for listening. For more from Chris and Taylor, visit trafficandfunnels.com and get a free gift just for being a subscriber. That's trafficandfunnels.com.